News4Jax just confirmed that 2 people are dead, the result of a double shooting in Green Cove Springs. There is an active search right now for the shooter. It happened in the area of Rosemary Hill Road. We can tell you because of this manhunt going on, because that person is considered armed and dangerous, that Clay High School is on lockdown as a precaution right now. So too are apparently several businesses in the area.
Bruce, a very active scene here off of State Road 16. You can see Florida Highway Patrol has the road shut down along with the Clay County Sheriff's Office. Deputies and SWAT officers are surrounding this area as we were making our way down here. Officers, deputies, Florida Highway Patrol flying past us down 17, trying to get down here to this scene where they have located a car that they believe to be involved with that double shooting earlier this morning.
We do have a suspect photo that just filtered into the newsroom. His name is Murray Lancaster. Murray Lancaster, he is related to former Sheriff Scott Lancaster. Okay, this is from the Clay County Sheriff's Office. It is his their Facebook page, and they say, please be on the lookout for this man. Murray Lancaster, wanted for questioning in fatal shooting incidents this morning in Green Cove Springs. Please call 911 if seen. Do not approach.
Let's go ahead and break in with Sheriff Beasler here, who is now ready to address the public.
Good morning. Appreciate you all being here. We have a very active situation going on in Clay County right now. We want to report that about 9:45 this morning here in the city of Green Cove at a hair salon, a young woman was abducted at gunpoint and taken out to Magnolia Point Country Club West, which is on the west side of Green Cove Springs inside the city limits. At that time, the suspect who had abducted the female encountered her father. The suspect shot and killed both the woman and the father. He left from that location and drove over to the Rosemary Hill landfill, which is not too far away from Magnolia Point West, where he encountered his ex-wife. He shot and killed his ex-wife at that location and then took off in a gray or silver Chevrolet pickup truck.
We now know Murray Lancaster was due in court at 2:30 this afternoon for a pretrial hearing in relation to battery charges on the victim, Valorie Short. Also, it was a situation involving her father, which again, you just heard them confirm that they do believe her father was the other person here shot and killed. This is the no contact order that Valorie had filed against Murray Lancaster 2 days after that battery in March.
We've seen SWAT officers still making their way into and out of the area where they say they believe that Murray Lancaster might be. I'm going to bring in our News4Jax crime and safety analyst, Gil Smith, who's out here with us. And Gil, we've seen these officers going back and forth, and the sheriff just told us a little while ago that they believe that Murray Lancaster is in a mobile home on the back of their family property. How do officers go about trying to make contact with him, and how difficult is what they're doing right now?
Well, the first thing they want to do is to clear the area. If there are any homes right there near their property or in the area, they want to evacuate them, get the people out of there and get them in a safe location in case shots are fired, had to be fired by police or by the gunman. So that's the main thing right now, is to make sure the area is secured.
The hunt is on for the suspected shooter. It is a man named Murray Lancaster. What you're looking at right now is a map of where all of this has unfolded throughout the day and where officers are still located. And we're waiting to get another update from officers as they determine if he is or is not on that property, because I know that has a lot of people that, are in that area and that may be watching us right now in their homes with their doors locked, extremely concerned just to know that he has already, accused of taking 3 lives. Can you tell us a little bit more about the search? Have you heard anything new since that noon press conference about where they are in their search for this suspect?
Well, we have learned that in about an hour and a half at 2 o'clock, we will get another update from the chief and from the sheriff. So by then, we should have a pretty good idea of where the search stands at this point.
This family is known to the Clay County Sheriff's community because Murray Lancaster is a former sheriff's nephew. Apparently, this is the result of a domestic dispute. Green Cove Springs Police Chief Robert Musco said, "This is a tragic day here in Green Cove Springs.
This red dot here is the Lancaster property. What they told us and what you heard the sheriff say during that press conference is that they had that area collapsed. So basically what they do is they just put a perimeter around it, and the SWAT team moves in slowly but surely, making sure that the person they're looking for, in this case Murray Lancaster, is not within that large area. So they just get it down to a smaller area. Now, he said that he was in some type of building on the property, and you see here it looks like there might be some sort of trailer there, but it looks like there could possibly be some other locations on the property as well. So he's in one of these buildings, they think. At this point, at 12 o'clock, Sheriff Beasler said that he felt like they were close to determining if he was still on this property, but this is the area where they're looking. You see that there's really heavily wooded sections on all sides. There's also some main roads right through here, Bruce. So they have a lot of this blocked off, and we do have cameras right around the corner. In fact, we know that our Scott Johnson, also Chris Parento, they're not very far from this scene, and they're keeping a close eye, waiting for the very latest from investigators.
As you can see, SWAT officers gearing up, walking down towards the home that they have surrounded. We're not going to give out the exact location for the safety of those officers that are working right now and surrounding this home in this area. But again, part of State Road 16 is blocked off. They are urging people to stay out of the area because of what's going on out here. They say that this shooter is on the loose. They are actively searching for him. Multiple scenes around this area here in Green Cove Springs, as we've already mentioned. They don't know if the shooter is inside of the home that they have surrounded, but you can tell with the vehicles that are out here and the officers gearing up and getting ready that they do plan on making their way towards that home any minute.
That is Murray Lancaster. That is the person who officers say is responsible for taking 3 lives today, 3 lives of people that were very well known in this small community, 3 lives that will impact so many more lives. Also, this is a look at the victims. Ex-wife Erica Green, his girlfriend Valorie Short, said to be his ex-girlfriend. In fact, they were supposed to go to court today for a hearing where she had got a restraining order against him, and also Valorie's father, Wayland Buddy Short. All 3 shot and killed today. All this unfolding since just 10 o'clock this morning.
There is another breaking news situation in Putnam County, and there is word it may be related to this. Lindsay, what have you learned?
We have just confirmed that Georgia Pacific is on lockdown in Palatka, and here's why. Murray Lancaster was fired from there last week, and they say when they fired him, he then made death threats. So when they heard the news today, they went ahead and put the whole business on lockdown until they can confirm that Clay County Sheriff's Office has Murray Lancaster in custody. So again, until they know where Murray Lancaster is, they have put their business in Palatka on lockdown to protect their employees. Again, this is Georgia Pacific in Palatka, Putnam County. We have just gotten off the phone there, and we know that those employees are on lockdown. And I can tell you, in his March arrest and booking report, he listed Georgia Pacific as his employer. But again, they are telling us they fired Murray Lancaster last week.
Talked to a number of parents who have been asking me, should I go get my children? I said, the police are saying no, saying that the schools are secure. These are ones in Green Cove Springs, not around Clay County, just particularly in the heart of Green Cove Springs, that they've been asking parents to not go up, just do normal pickup procedures, because this is going to get chaotic with a police scene, as well as a lot of parents showing up at the wrong times.
I know parents want answers right now. In fact, I can show you where we are. We just arrived here a short time ago. You can see some parents in their cars are lined up along the sidewalk here. And as one of them was just telling me as we arrived, they said, we need to get our child. They want to get their child out of here. So, Bruce, as you mentioned, they're anxious at this point. But as school officials, what they're telling us is that really, for safety reasons, the safest place to be is where these kids are, right here.
Joining us now on News4JAX, attorney Rhonda Peoples-Waters, certainly not associated with this case because no legal counsel has been obtained, but we can get some perspective on the injunction that was issued. Rhonda, here's the bottom line. If somebody goes ahead and gets a restraining order, an injunction that orders someone else to stay away from them, the reality is it's just a piece of paper.
Absolutely. It's a piece of paper. It's a court order directing that individual to stay away from that person, not to cause any further harm. But, of course, there are issues as to whether that person is going to follow the law or the orders that are, written in that order.
Needless to say, this entire community is talking about these shocking developments, and the reaction on social media has been nothing short of an emotional roller coaster, Nikki.
So right, Bruce. You know, as tragedies like these, as they unfold throughout the day, we see more and more people that are posting on Facebook, and in this case, you know, it is no different. We are seeing so many friends and family that are just reaching out, you know, to let those know on their Facebook pages that their thoughts are with this family. In fact, Shelby Keller says, "My heart is broken for the Green family. Erica was always sweet and smiling. Her kids have been robbed of a great mom. Prayers for everyone." We want to go now to Jennifer Waugh. And Jen, I know you have some more information, just some personal information about our victims. And really, this is just such a sad situation. Valorie was really young.
She was young. In fact, she turned, we're hearing she turned 30. In fact, just last February was on Valentine's Day. And, you know, we've been watching on social media and these tweets come in, people talking about these young women, Valorie Short in particular. You know, you just heard Lindsay mention she had 2 children. They're boys. A witness told us, someone that worked with Valorie Short at the hair salon, that those boys were just in 1st and 3rd grade. I have to tell you, and looking at pictures of these beautiful boys on Facebook, this mother adored her sons. Blonde, blue-eyed, happy young children. It just breaks your heart to think that their mother is not coming home, won't be picking them up from school today. Now we're hearing their father is now traveling here right now from out of state to be with his boys during this incredibly difficult time. We know that Valorie and Murray Lancaster dated for about 2 years. It appears that she also studied at Orange Park Beauty Academy, grew up in Orange Park. Investigators say that Lancaster, of course, kidnapped her at that beauty salon this morning, where she had only been working there for a few weeks. Again, they did have a violent relationship, at least recently. Our I-team's been investigating for the last several hours since this started unfolding. We know that Lancaster, for example, was charged with battery against Valorie Short. There was a restraining order that was issued, and according to investigators, when we heard from them about an hour and a half ago, he violated that injunction. We know they were supposed to appear in court today. In about 15 minutes was their court hearing. It was expected to start related to that battery charge, which very well could have been the catalyst to what started this terrible chain reaction of events this morning at 9:45.
Sheriff Buesler apparently just entered the room in Green Cove Springs. Let's join him.
Just a few moments ago, the Clay County Sheriff's Office SWAT team was able to make entry into a camper trailer that was on the Lancaster property that we believed was the possible hiding place of the suspect, Murray Lancaster. Upon making entry into the mobile home, the mobile trailer, we found Murray Lancaster deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and that concludes the manhunt. We are releasing the lockdowns on all the schools, trying to return traffic to a normal pattern. The incident is over and everyone is safe at this point.
We started to notice SWAT officers leaving the area, coming out of the side street that they were on near the home where Murray Lancaster was found. You can see their command center is still out here, and just down the way you can see some officers still in the area because, as the sheriff said, this investigation is not over. They still have a lot of work to do. Detectives have been arriving and heading down to that area, but most of the SWAT officers have already been able to come out, get something to drink, a cold bottle of water, after being in place for almost 4 hours, from about 11 o'clock until just about 2:30.
Updates on all today's breaking news at 5 o'clock. In the meantime, the story continues on news4jax.com, and we leave you with a picture of the 3 people who lost their lives today in a deadly shooting.
Thank you for joining us.